Hello, viewer! Welcome back to the final episode of Demonheart. Phew! This journey has been long! Especially this chapter. It was actually very, very long. A lot longer than I originally anticipated, but whatever. But hey, welcome back to hell. We're just gonna cross this bridge and enter our death, probably. It's gonna suck, but whatever. Anyway, at the end of the tunnel is a bridge leading over a fiery lake. He must have crossed it, so that means I can too. I should do it quickly, but there's no end in sight. So we gotta finish this. Today, in this episode, because we're done. He has taken Ari away. Why did he take her? To taunt me? Is he jealous of her because she is still in good standing with me? Does he mean to take away all of my friends until he is the only one left? Will I even find her alive? Would avenging Psyche and Rin truly be justice? Well, we're caught with quite a dilemma right here. We could say yes it would be, and no it wouldn't. But honestly, I prefer choosing this one. But again, it doesn't matter what you choose, so. It would be justice for the real rays. That I can agree with. Either way, it would be wise to keep the blade concealed. As I run, it occurs to me that I should try to save some of my speed. I might need it when I catch them. There must exist some kind of weakness in him, or some way to calm him down. In the book Ari recommended, Inari Psyche and Kaliki Rin were a mistress and apprentice witch from Elshai, famous for their demon spawn experiments. Psyche and Rin mysteriously vanished. It is believed that the experiment escaped and took revenge on its captors. Fair enough, that seems to be quite the case here. We found him petrified with terror, with this red infant staring at a woman's body that hung from the tree. Dorius soon started hating his name. Dorius. I have to catch him. At last, I spot the demon spawn in the distance. The bridge ends in a big platform, and there is nothing but fire around us. Ari is unconscious in the demon spawn's arms because he is clearly fucking holding her. Like, what the fuck is this shit? Come on now, really? I mean, a simple bend of the arm would be nice. I don't know. Some of the animations in this game are great, but then others, they're very lackluster.
So persistent.
Hey, you know me. Of course, Dorius. Do not say my name while I'm holding a hostage. My claws might clench and rip out her throat. I knew a confrontation was inevitable.
After all, my lair is small enough that we are bound to keep running into each other. During the eternity you will spend here.
And don't worry about your human lifespan. It didn't pose a problem for Psyche and Rin. With your witch follower, though, it's gotten too crowded for my taste. Thankfully, the fire is here to consume all needless possessions. If you do not beg for Ari's life right here, he will literally throw her in the fire and she will die. Like, if you ask, why are you doing this? He'll just chuck her in the fire. Alright. I believe killing Ari will not help your cause, it will only make me hate you. He'll still throw her in the fire, I believe. I'm not quite too sure, I could be wrong on that. And of course, if you say cast her into the fire, see if I care, he will chuck her. So we'll say, let her go, Dorius! Stop it! I will kill her. I will kill you both! Be a good boy and slowly let go of her. He obeys me and lets Ari fall to the floor. I'm sure she hit her head, but she should be alright. You have caught me in a vulnerable state. Any other day, I would have burned your friend to the bone. I hope you appreciate this.
So, you have discovered me. This is me. Not the son of your famous healing do-gooder witch, but of a simple peasant girl.
I was merely brought up by a famous witches, but they did not have my best interests at heart. Now you see me for what I am.
I am merely a thief, an imposter, and the weakest of my kind.
Orchid's son was a demon spawn ally meant for you. Will you keep your promise to Orchid and protect him? Her real son. Since you seem to care about morality, I have to warn you.
The child is insane and seeks the death of your kin. In his trance, he sometimes weeps for the apocalypse.
Let's see. Again, just some dialogue here and there. All of it's kind of different, though. Apocalypse doesn't mean the death of my kin, merely an introduction of a new order, I think. Not really. Then you and your wretched raids were truly meant for each other.
If you win this fight and release him, I hope you'll remember my words when he jumps at your throat.
Let's see. It kind of really doesn't matter what you choose, honestly. Dorius, stop it. Stop being a douche. No, stop trying to control me! In the middle of this fiery pit, I suddenly feel a chill. The demon spawn is about to attack. I defend myself! He charges at me, slashing forth with his clawed arms. I dodge the first attack, jumping out of his way, but he quickly turns around to attack again. It seems he is gifted with demonic speed as well, which makes sense considering his heritage. My eyes wide open, I follow his next attempt and evade another attack. It seems he anticipated which way I would turn as he follows up with another strike immediately and rips the side of my armor. He keeps attacking me relentlessly, and it seems hopeless. If I turn to run, I'm afraid he might get a good hit on my back. I don't know why right here, but he's actually supposed to be animated. Like, he's supposed to move, like, back and forth. Like, he's supposed to be attacking you. I'm not sure why. I think one of my settings might have turned that off for some reason. Whoopsies! My speed is making a huge difference. A normal human would never stand a chance. At this rate, he will tear my armor into shreds. I start trying to defend myself with my dagger, which makes him pull back for a little while, calculating his next attack. Then, he launches into another series of relentless clawing, and I strike back with my dagger, cutting him almost each time I dodge an attack. It seems he has lost some of his balance. He moves forward into what seems to be a reckless attack, surrounding me with his arms. His chest is left undefended, but I hesitate to attack, and so it becomes too late. Instead of clawing at my sides, the demon spawn clenches me in his arms until I can barely move. He pulls the knife out of my hand and throws it away. Thankfully, it wasn't the ceremonial blade. I still have it hidden. Towering over me, he bends me backwards towards the pit of fire. Would he really do this? The world seems to have slowed down even more. Before I could think of anything useful to say, I notice a weak spot on one of his double-jointed legs, and I use the opportunity to kick it with all my force. He trips and falls back onto the floor, pulling me down with him. Dang, we beat him up not too bad. Not too badly. He pants tiredly, looking up at me. There is no more rage in him. I still have the ceremonial blade, and he doesn't seem to realize. And with that, we are going to save right here, because this is kind of where most of the endings will matter at this save point. There we go. And so, let's start with this one. I reach for the ceremonial blade to stab him! I manage to pull out the blade and drive it toward his stomach. Just as it starts tearing his skin, the demon spawn's strong arms stop me, holding me in place. Why can't he still move? I did cut him, but he saw it coming. I couldn't drive the blade deep enough. He looks down at the weapon as he recognizes it. His face fills with a strange sadness. The ceremonial blade? tried to do to me the worst thing imaginable. Bright, I was so wrong about you. I have to start fixing my mistakes. Struggling, the demon spawn lifts me up and throws me into the pit of fire, and I die. Well, this one's kind of interesting. I mean, if you look at what he says, he kind of realized what he was doing, and he says he's going to fix his mistakes. But I wonder if that means one of us, or his mistake was letting us live. But whatever. It ends in fire. So sad. Let's see. What do I have 2 endings for? Let me delete that. Delete. Anyway, let's load this. Alright. So if you choose Ceremonial Blade immediately, you automatically die, as you just saw. And so, we're going to start off with the good ending, which I say loosely good. So, in order to get that, you have to kiss him to distract him while I pull out the blade and stab him. That sucks. It really sucks. I don't like this good ending. He holds his breath and keeps his eyes open, as if he had hoped for this, but didn't dare expect it. It takes him a moment to relax and start trusting me. And then, I strike. The demon spawn gasps, arching back, and then stays in place like that. I think he knows what happened, but he can't say anything. He deserves this. He was right to distrust me. Staying on his side was wrong. I had to do the right thing. I get up and turn toward the bridge, thinking how I'm supposed to summon Psyche and Rin, but they are already floating towards me. It seems they have been watching.
At last, he falls. Monstrous thou, shut me open. No, Rin. You keep forgetting.
Psyche keeps whispering to Rin in a language I don't understand, explaining something to her. Rin asks a question in the same language, and Psyche responds as if reassuring her. They seem to be concentrating on casting some kind of spell. The demon spawn's body is lifted up in the air, floating. All 3 of them fly away toward the torture chamber. Ari slowly stirs on the floor. I step closer and offer her my hand.
Bright, you're alive. We both are alive. Oh, I'm so happy I could...
Yes? Ari jumps into my arms and gives me a peck on the lips. Oh my! And we can get away, but... we want to hold her close. We really want to hold her close. Come on now. And with that, we also get another kiss scene. Ari's happy to stay with me, kissing me again. Her skin is so soft, and she smells nice despite all our meddling and dank infernal layers. This place just got even hotter. I bet it did. Ho ho. I guess we should not have done that. We both wanted it, so what's wrong about it? Everything that happened recently, it actually seems like a dream now. I don't think I should be happy, but somehow I am. Now, where is the demon spawn?
What happened? Anyway.
I stabbed the imposter with a ceremonial blade the skeleton witches gave me. It paralyzed him and the witches took him away. With their magic blade, then he's done for? They will torture him again like they did in the book. It's scary to think you will be responsible for his eternal torture. If he should ever break free, you will have a powerful enemy. To be fair, I'm used to having enemies. Sadly, I guess that's how it is. Let's go then. It's so hot here. My choice is made. It was the only choice. To release the real rays, the one Orchid loved more than her life. Also, I hope the boy will turn out to be more agreeable than the imposter. That shouldn't be too difficult. Setting him free may not have been a priority for Psyche and Rin. Their priority is to punish their master and be free of him, but Rays will be saved as a result. It's time to return to the torture chamber. I can barely stand this heat. So we're back here, and fortunately, the young Rays has been replaced with the old Rays. It looks like his horns have been taken out. Again! Jesus. Back in the chamber, the skeletal witches are gathered at the demon spawn trap device. Inside it now stands the imposter, hunched forward and wrapped in his wings. He looks like he's trying to hide from the pain, or from us. Unlike the real Rays, he doesn't scream at all. Perhaps he is more resilient than the boy, or more used to this.
Our Demonheart friend.
Don't call me friend, I do this reluctantly. On behalf of myself and my apprentice, thank you. You will forever have our gratitude. Although I suspect we will soon be dead without Dorius's interventions. I didn't do it for you. Still, our interests aligned well. Will he stay here forever? What are the chances someone will rescue him? This trap was of our making. It is undocumented. No one should know how to operate it. In all honesty, I cannot give you my word that it will be impossible for someone to do that. However, it is highly unlikely. Well, that's great, but how do we leave the Inferno now? I mean, he said there's no portals. We would have escaped the Master long ago if that were possible. It is true we never discussed this, as our only ambition was to die, no matter where. There is still hope for you, though. It lies with the boy. He too is a demon spawn, and if he can control his powers, he might be able to take you back. The boy should be somewhere close. I spot him curled up in a dark corner, panting. He stirs and starts getting up, as if he had somehow become aware of my gaze. The demon child looks up at me with his yellow eyes. His face is familiar. I have seen it in my dreams, but this was different, distorted from pain. It still bears the marks of torture, but now it is finally relaxed.
Mother?
Don't call me Mother. My name is Bright.
I know who you are.
What is up with your robot voice, dude? You are not her, but you are the only one I have seen.
I am free, as the great Thane has promised.
Who? I have seen the vision of the great Thane. I have heard his voice, and he has seen me too.
I've heard tales of him in the Church of Ravage.
Rays must be telling the truth. They have truly spoken. How else would he know about this ancient demon spawn? Dorius abducted him as soon as he was born. Is that my tormentor's name? It shouldn't matter. The great Thane has found me in this desolate lair, but he could not yet come for me, for he too is trapped. He is the wingless one, the bringer of the apocalypse, and he will unite us all, even him. He turns to the posture in the trap. I'm sorry, but I don't think Thane could be the wingless one. This doesn't make much sense. He is. I have seen it. He will bring about the apocalypse. I know not how the great Thane will achieve it, but he will. Alright, well, this is not how humans usually greet each other. This is Ari, by the way. Hello, Rays. I am a witch from Elshai. Like Bright, I have also met your mother. Why do you give me this irrelevant information? Alright, baby boy. I see I have a lot of work to do here, but I will teach you how to be a decent person and stop plotting against humankind. Why would I listen to you, human? Was this my mother's wish? Yes, that was the whole point, dipshit. I apologize. Perhaps I do need to listen to you. No shit, dude! It feels like a waste of time not to take action immediately, but there will be endless time for me. This is only the beginning. I know the skill required to take us to the human world. Many times I have felt the rush of energy attempting to escape and save myself from the pain, but within the trap it never worked. For your safety, some experiments will be required before we attempt it. It would be a sad fate if I never mastered the skill. We would stay here until the Great Thing came for us, and it might not happen in centuries. That actually means you would die, but I digress. I do believe that I am capable to take us out of here. Give me a moment. I will start practicing right away.
I swear, I will not give up until I'm able to save you both.
That's
Thank
more
you.
like it. Why are you suddenly so determined to help? I apologize if I gave up the wrong impression before. I am grateful that you came for me. There are simply so many lines of thought in my mind that I forget myself. I should take some time to recover. Perhaps I need to sit down for a while. Okay. Reese took perhaps a whole day to rest, recollect his thoughts, and gather his mother's belongings from the infernal lair. During this time, Ari and I found a chamber with a bed in it. Ari couldn't keep her eyes open anymore, so she took a nap in the imposter's bed. I was too tense to sleep. It was the imposter's bed after all, whether the demon spawn actually slept or not. My demonic powers certainly helped me retain my sanity while staying awake all this time, but I became very tired. When Reese was done recovering, he started meditating on his infernal powers, which he believed would work as practice for his teleportation spell.
I have news, at last. My infernal powers are growing reliable.
That's good. Teleportation should be an easy matter now. It might require rest between uses, but I trust it's only essential for us to use it once, to reach the outside world. Also, I was able to retrieve an item that is rightfully mine from the imposter. There's something different about him. The amulet. It looks so heavy around his neck. It was one of the most important gifts my mother left me, so shamelessly stolen from me. He would taunt me with how he was using it to contact you while I couldn't, but I could, in your dreams. Now we will be able to talk even when we are apart. However, I would like to travel with you, to walk the landscapes of the outside world. I'd prefer to have you close, to be fair, where I can take care of you, but other humans might cause us trouble to be...
Then you will be my mentor, like it was meant to be.
Indeed. And as for the humans, we should find a way to stop them from bothering us. We'll need to come up with a really good disguise, young man. If he wore a dark hood to cover his whole face, even if someone saw it in the shadow, they might not notice that it's red. He'd definitely have to wear a long robe to hide his legs. Yes, I will wear all of this. I will listen to your wisdom as long as you allow me to stay in your company. Come, let us do this. Reese instructs us to stand still, together with Mr. Edgardo, whom I have promised to rescue from the Inferno. In fact, he is the only person we care about more than anything. Mr. Edgardo is our dearest, best friend in the whole wide world. He is just a sweetheart, man. He takes my hand, and I hold the cat to my chest with one arm. The demon spawn takes Ari's hand as well, and starts muttering in an unknown tongue. At last, a magic similar to a portal's field engulfs us. We are back in Rivera's dungeon, in the hallway right at the entrance to my prison cell. Oh boy, this is fucking great. I want to remember this shithole.
Does this place disturb you?
It is the last place you slept. Yes, actually. This is where she sort of tortured me. Ah, I apologize. We can try not to spend too much time here. Still, this is a witch's den, isn't it? Do I have permission to explore it? Sure, you're welcome to do it, man. Knock yourself out. Thank you. I think you might need to find a more hospitable chamber and rest. In any case, I will stay close.
It seems we will have our hands full.
We could take care of him. And unstable as he seems, I believe he can make this work, as long as we treat him with respect and care. This can be a great learning opportunity, spending time with a young demon spawn, and it might give us some credit with the Infernal Fathers if the apocalypse does come. I will need your help raising this demon child. You ain't leaving me alone. I would love to help with this, and anything else you might be up to. I mean, it can't be worse than what Rivera was doing. I should stop it. I guess we are both free, Prite. Truly free.
I'm so happy that we're going to travel together.
Yeah, me too. It's gonna be fun. And so I ended up with 2 allies who seemed loyal to me. Ari, who picked me over her old mistress, and the real Rays, the demon spawn who was meant for me. Or so his mother Orchid decided. We all took some time to rest and prepare. After that, we would start our journey. We made a hooded robe for Rays out of one of Ari's rarely used garments, so he could disguise his features and travel with us in the human world. At least until we found a better solution. Ari and I decided we had to leave the south, so we all set foot on the secluded forest road to the northeast. Ari claimed to own a house in the lawless city of Ravage. We would use it as a base and then possibly move on, depending on the conditions we encountered there. Perhaps we would need to take some time teaching young Rays the basics about the human world first. He went on and on about an ancient demon spawn called the Great Thane, and how great he apparently was. This old demon spawn had the power to speak to Rays in his state between life and death, and fill his head with nonsense. I was certain that I was a much more stable and sane companion for conversation, and that Rays would realize it in time and come to see things my way. It's either my way or the highway, boy! Rivera was left to Lord Mace's mercy, and I had reasons to believe he wouldn't be very merciful. At any rate, my hometown became safer. The witch's imprisonment probably pleased Lord Second just as much as assassination would have, but I wasn't sure I could trust him to restore my freedom. My parents still thought I was dead, and I decided to come up with a way to send them a message they would instantly recognize. I wasn't sure if I should do it, though, because at this point, any knowledge of me might put them in danger. I decided to start a new life far away from my old home. I would do my best to find a place where the people are peaceful and trustworthy. I hope to find a way to change this world for the better without using aggression and violence. Sir Brash and I promised to reunite in Ravage. I wondered how I would find him in the big city, or if he would find me first. Actually, why was I worried? I knew I would spot that big jerk anywhere. I wish he could take me to Scarswell to show me the city, as well as this palace he supposedly lived in, that all the Scarswell knights seemed to brag about. But he said the south was off limits to us, so we would have to meet in new locations like outlaws. When we next meet, things would be different. I was a free person now, not his prison girl. Although he was still kind of intimidating, I could meet him on more even grounds. I knew he cared. The fact that he refused to have me hauled off to the Lord Mace and risked getting in trouble for me proved it. I hope that we could both make it to our rendezvous. And maybe we'd get around to fulfilling his old wish to be his, even if it's the last thing I do, now that I was safe, and sounded a little funny, but back then it was terrifying. Brash was either very obsessed with me, or completely out of his mind. Either way, he was going to come for me. And had you chosen anything else besides saying you loved him, you've received a message saying you wished him well and hoped the best for him, pretty much. Yeah, I'm surprised that the ally thing didn't choose well for this either. Or was not the option for this, but whatever, viewer, whatever. Walking in the forest beside me, Ari seemed happier than ever. Rivera's fate had been left in someone else's hands, and she felt like neither of us was to blame for what happened. We talked about all the places we could visit together. Ari laughed happily at every suggestion I made and then quickly found a flaw with it. She was such a refreshing companion compared to everyone else I traveled with, despite the occasional demon-worshipping observation. All the options were open to us, and there was no pressure. We were free to do whatever we wished. And had you not saved Ari, or if you let Dorius kill Ari, or if Ari died during one of the encounters of chance of killing her, you would also lose that bit of dialogue. You would not have anything. If I recall, you would not have any dialogue, but I could be wrong on that. It's been kind of a while since I went through that ending. And honestly, going through the endings to this is kind of tiring. I'm not gonna lie. My nightmare stopped. There was only one more dream of Orchid.
Thank you for saving him. I knew you wouldn't let me down. Now, I can be at peace.
In the end, I had the two most important things, my heart and my freedom. With that, we reached the good ending. And yeah, I say the good ending very loosely, mostly because, again, Dorius is captured. Now, I do believe he should be punished for what he has done. He shouldn't be excused for that. However, I can see why and understand why he did everything. Because honestly, Syke and Rin, they're not good people either. They're shitheads too. I wasn't too happy that I'm kind of forced to choose one or the other. Rays or whatever. Demon spawn. So it kind of sucks. This ending is kind of bittersweet in its own way. If you truly believe Rays is evil, though. Or Dorius is evil. But I kind of don't believe he's that evil, honestly. But anyway, let us check out the other endings that we can get from here. I'll be back in just a second. And here we are, back with Rays down on the ground. Down and dirty. And so, this is where we choose this Rays. The other two endings involve this guy right here. The other Rays can go fuck himself. And so, in order to get the other two, it doesn't really matter which one you kind of choose, as long as you choose these three options. You could choose, get up you idiot, and don't try to fight me again. You could choose, did you hit your head good? Can we go back to being allies now? Or, we can do this option. I throw the blade into the fire. And then, kiss him! Mwah, 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 mwah. He holds his breath and keeps his eyes open, as if he had hoped for this, but didn't dare expect it. It takes him a moment to relax and kiss me back as I caress his scarred skin. He wraps his arms around my back, and we stay like this for a while. And it doesn't matter which one you choose right here, they're pretty much the exact same, comment in a way. Alright, you idiot. Are we done fighting now?
Does this mean we're still allies? After everything I've done? Or...
Yes, but you'll have to do better from now on. I assure you, my misbehavior stemmed from being convinced that you would despise me when you found out, or that you would simply choose to replace me. Oh, in another life I would never do that. Ha ha ha.
When I said you would never leave Inferno, well, I take it back. You belong in the outside world.
When your witch wakes up, meet me back on the other side of the torture chamber. He limps away over the bridge. Ari slowly stirs on the floor. I jump forward to see if she's okay and help her.
Bright, you're alive. We both are alive. Oh, I'm so happy I could...
Yes. Because, you know, we're gonna need another kiss. Hold on. We're just getting lucky with everybody, because why not? This place just got even hotter. Hell yeah, it did. And right here, I guess we should not have done that. So I'm gonna be a little dick about this and say, I just kissed the demon spawn a minute ago, so why the hell not? And Ari is not too happy with us about it. What? That's disgusting. I mean, not him, but kissing two people in such a short time? Besides, he snatched me away and threw me on the stone floor. I know, but I had no choice. I've been forced to do a lot of things, so sue me. Right. I should know. But where is he now?
What happened? Anyway.
And then she gets happy again. So yeah, you can be a little dick and she'll not be too happy with that. Surprisingly, the one time you can be a dick to them and they would not care. Reese really went stupid on me. I mean, the imposter. He attacked me, but I think he's coming to his senses. And now you are both alive and well. I'm so glad everything worked out for you. Not so glad about him, but having a demon spawn ally is many people's dreams. I don't know about others, but it's been my dream. Well, I'm happy for you. I hope you will allow me to be there and witness it all. Let's go then. It's so hot here. My choice is made. I chose to allow the imposter his freedom while Orchid's son is trapped. I will never know what would have happened if I'd chosen the other way. We do though, viewer. We do. He made it clear it was either him or the little one. Let's see. The boy might be even worse than him, especially after the torture. I mean, he was wishing for the apocalypse, he was wishing for the green thing to rescue him. Like, it would have been bad for everybody. Come on now, let's be real here. It's time to return to the torture chamber. I can barely stand this heat. Whew! Apart from the screaming boy and Mr. Edgardo, who doesn't seem upset in the slightest, the chamber is empty. I suppose the demon child will be staying here. Everything Orchid worked for has been for less than nothing. Her son was only born to endure an eternity of pain.
So he is to remain.
Looks that way. I know no way to free him, so tough luck, I guess. It was one or the other, wasn't it? For me, it had been such a difficult choice. On one hand, you should not meddle in the affairs of a demon spawn, but on the other hand, I would have liked to help the little one. Yeah, me too. I would really like both options. I mean, not just one or the other. Seriously. Seriously. Siding with Dorius is probably safer, though. He is an adult, and he is civilized. We know nothing of the boy, after all. Yeah, I agree. And there was a comment about Dorius being as civilized as a rabid dog, which... it's a little rude, but it was a funny comment, and she does make a remark about it, but again, doesn't really come off of anything. This is how it has to be, but just looking at the boy... Never mind. Maybe I'm making it up. My compassion is speaking for me.
I trust Dorius has agreed to help us return to our world.
I believe he has. Then, let's find him. I hope he doesn't kidnap me this time. Yeah, I hope so. I'd have to beat him up again.
There you are. Of course. Where else would you be?
Are you feeling well already? Yes, I have been able to gather my thoughts somewhat. I am physically repaired as well. Now I suppose there are a few things we need to set straight.
First, there is the matter of my name.
It's Dorius, isn't it? Ah, no! I mean, yes, that is the name the witches gave me, but do not use it. I've never had a fake name up until now, and since I despise my real one, I would prefer that you keep calling me Raze. Orchid had decent taste, after all. Alright. We could always be a dick about him, but, easy enough. Good.
Now, I believe I am ready to take you back to the outside world.
It's going to be painful transporting 2 humans with me, but I'm sure I will make it. And we're gonna drop a little save right here. Save there. Why not? Because right at this point, if you let him live and not tortured, you get 2 endings with him. And I want to show off both endings, and we'll show off the okay, not so great ending. So, the sooner the better!
Very well. It's about time.
You're damn right it's time. Reyes instructs us to stand still, together with Mr. Ricardo, whom I have promised to rescue from this inferno, because he's the motherfucking MVP of this whole entire game, guys. We gotta say Mr. Ricardo. He is the fucking best. He's the best. The demon spawn doesn't like him anyway, so he won't be missing him. Yeah, he's jealous of the MVP, okay? He wants no other MVP besides him. And if he can't be MVP, then he has to throw out the competition. Makes sense. Makes total sense. While I hold the cat, Reyes embraces both me and Ari and starts muttering in an unknown tongue. This feels a bit inappropriate, and Ari gives me a shy look. At last, a magic similar to a portal's field engulfs us. We are back in Rivera's dungeon. Well, ladies, you did not expect me to take you to a faraway city of your choosing, did you? Well, I guess not, but why Rivera's lair? Why, it's only fair that you continue where you left off.
This is good.
You sound a little scared there, Ari. Are you okay? There's a lot of equipment for us here, and some gold, you know. It's always useful. Yes, it is no coincidence I picked this dungeon. I was thinking on your behalf. Wherever you're headed next, it should be interesting to watch. I trust you'll be fine without my physical presence from here on, so I will leave you.
We shall meet again.
Bye.
He's finally gone. He had me so scared ever since he...
Well, to be fair, he can still hear us. I thought he was about to take a break. I fainted before we reached the end of the bridge. He won't be making a scene like that again. Now we need to see where we'll go next. Great. Well, as inconvenient as it may be, we will need to leave the den and go out among people again. Life in here is hardly fulfilling. We could find some better place now, because we are both free, Bright. Truly free.
I'm so happy that we're going to travel together.
So I ended up with 2 allies. Ari, who picked me over her old mistress, and the imposter Reyes, who seemed obsessed with our alliance, which he achieved by stealing me from the other demon spawn. Ari and I took some time to rest and prepare. After that, we would start our journey. And here we have the exact same image, except there's no real Reyes. Nobody's there this time. Ari and I agreed to leave the south and set foot on the road to Ravage. Ari claimed to own a house in the city. She would use it as a base and then possibly move on. From time to time, my demon spawn ally would interrupt our conversation, or straight out scare me in the middle of the day just to share his thoughts. The fact that he wasn't actually born a few months earlier like he initially pretended explained why he was at times so arrogant, acting like my mentor. Yet, though he was an adult demon spawn, it turned out he was barely older than me. The first several years of his life had been pain and torment at the hands of the witches, so they didn't really count as useful life experience. Our lifestyles had been very different though. While I was normally living and socializing in Feline, he had taken a more seclusive, expedited learning approach. As time went by, Reyes realized that he had to release Psyche and Rin from their torment. Not out of mercy, but because their presence kept him bound to his past. He told me they were finally dead and that he had taken their bones somewhere in the outside world so as not to stay with him in his lair. I suspect he disposed of them in some disrespectful location. I doubt that it matters to them, though. Their wish was simply to rest in peace. So even if we saved let the real fake Rays go, Syke and Rin still get what they want. So it's happy ending for them, I guess. Rivera was left to Lord Mace's mercy, and I had reasons to believe he wouldn't be very merciful. At any rate, my hometown became safer. The witch's imprisonment probably pleased Lord Second just as much as assassination would have, but I wasn't sure I could trust him to restore my freedom. And the assassination kind of goes similar to this, with Rivera now dead. Lord Mace can rest at ease, but she still kind of feared he wouldn't give her her freedom, and blah 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 blah. So, whatever. My parents still thought I was dead, and I decided to come up with a way to send them a message they would instantly recognize. I wasn't sure if I should do it, though, because at this point, any knowledge of me might put them in danger. I decided to start a new life far away from my old home. I would do my best to find a place where the people are peaceful and trustworthy. I hoped to find a way to change this world for the better without using aggression and violence. Sir Brash and I promised to reunite and ravage. I wonder how I would find him in the big city, or if he would find me first. Actually, why was I worried? I knew I'd spot that big jerk anywhere. I wish he could take me to Scarswell and show me the city, as opposed to this place he supposedly lived in, that all the Scarswell knights seemed to brag about. But he said the south was off limits to us, so we would have to meet in a new location like outlaws. When we next meet, things would be different. I was a free person now, not his prison girl. Although he was still kind of intimidating, I could meet him on more even grounds. I knew he cared. The fact that he refused to have me hauled off to Lord Mace and risk getting in trouble for me proved it. I hoped that we could both make it to our rendezvous. Rendezvous. I don't know why that word is so hard for me to say. And maybe we get around to fulfilling his old wish to be his, even if it's the last thing I do. Now that I was safe, it sounded a little funny, but back then it was terrifying. Brash was either very obsessed with me or completely out of his mind. Probably both, to be fair. Either way, he was going to come for me. Walking in the forest beside me, Ari seemed happier than ever. Rivera's fate had been left in someone else's hands, and she felt like neither of us was to blame for what happened. We talked about all the places we could visit together. Ari laughed happily at every suggestion I made, and then quickly found a flaw with it. She was such a refreshing companion compared to everything else I traveled with, despite the occasional demon-worshipping observation. All the options were open to us, and there was no pressure. We were free to do whatever we wished. I only slept a couple of times since leaving the Inferno, and it wasn't for long. My nightmares did not return, as if the demon child had lost the hope that I would ever aid him. I was free to choose my allies, instead of having them forced on me by a mysterious witch. In the end, I had the two most important things, my heart and my freedom. And so, that is the end for that version, but there's one more to go through. And so I will see you in just a second. Actually, why bother even just a second? I mean, just load the goddamn thing, you idiot. Alright. Wait. Not so fast.
What is so important that you would spend more time in Inferno to say it?
There's something I must confess, Rays. I think I love you. I don't want to leave.
What? How could anyone?
Ari gasped behind me. You didn't believe anyone could love you? Forget what I said.
I don't want you to leave either.
Aww, that's nice.
But these are no conditions for you to stay. Perhaps for a time, or until you change your mind.
At any rate, I should take your witch back. I don't want her watching over us. Please do take her back, but there's no need to be rude to her. But I thought we'd stick together after. I understand. Then it would be most kind of you to take me back. Sorry to kind of break our promise with you, Ari, but, you know, you just gotta follow your heart sometimes, and, you know, He's shirtless. Come on now. Sure, you're showing cleavage, but he's fucking shirtless. I mean, come on, look at those abs. So sexy. Come, say your farewell to Bright if you wish. We are about to disappear.
Bright, it was amazing to meet you. I don't think you realize just how much I admire you.
There, I said it. Goodbye, Ari, and thank you. Come, witch. I will have to teleport twice just for your sake. Ari looks at him with fear. How do I even know he'll leave her alive in the human world? I should trust him by now. Reyes instructs Ari to stand still, then starts muttering in an unknown tongue. In the end, he embraces her and they both disappear. Poof. I love that poof noise. Poof. After some waiting around with Mr. Ricardo, Reyes appears again with a blast. That was quick, wasn't it? Are you trying to flaunt your talent? Not quite. I was actually concerned if I had given you enough time to go ransacking my home. In all honesty, I was rather hoping to spend a few days away from you and ponder about everything that happened recently. But how could I refuse? All of my puns would only serve to keep you around, so it may as well be in person.
I imagine we will have a lot to discuss.
You have yet to explain to me the appeal of working to help other humans. For example, or being kind to them without expecting compensation. Do you actually do that? You may not be a child after all, but I have a lot to teach you. Funny. I will listen to what you have to say, if only for the value of entertainment. No, don't look so down.
You truly are more than I'd hoped for. I'm so glad I have my own Demonheart.
Well, for the time I'm alive anyway. But once I'm dead, you're on your own, buddy. I spent the following days with Reyes in Inferno. And we get a completely different image. The accommodations were actually quite decent. There were many things to examine and many topics to discuss. The fact that the demon spawn wasn't actually born a few months earlier, like he initially pretended, explained why he was at times so arrogant, acting like my mentor. Yet, though he was an adult demon spawn, it turned out he was barely older than me. The first several years of his life have been pain and torment at the hands of the witches, so they didn't really count as useful life experiences. Our lifestyles had been very different, though. While I was normally living and socializing in Feline, Reyes had taken a more seclusive, expedited learning approach, so our experiences differed and we had stories to exchange. I discovered the fire in him as he grew to trust only me. He talked about his knowledge of the human world, and he showed me all the trinkets he had collected. We avoided the chamber with the other demon spawn, and we were happy. As the time went by, Reyes realized that he had to release Psyche and Rin from their torment, not out of mercy, but because their presence kept him bound to his past. When he removed the curse from them, their bones crumbled to the floor with their robes. After that, he took their remains to the outside world to be rid of them completely. I suspected he disposed of them in some disrespectful location. I doubt that it matters to them, though. Their wish was simply to rest in peace. Rivera was left to Lord Mace's mercy, and I had reason to believe he wouldn't be very merciful. At any rate, my hometown became safer. The witch's imprisonment probably blessed Lord Second just as much as an assassination would have, but I wasn't sure if I could trust him to restore my freedom. Why the fuck do we care? We're in the fucking Inferno. My parents still thought I was dead, and I decided to come up with a way to send them a message they would instantly recognize. I wasn't sure if I should, though, because at this point any knowledge of me might put them in danger. Alright, fair enough. Many had died, so Reyes and I would get where we were. Still, they all knew the risk their actions would bring. I tried to tell myself I wasn't responsible for their deaths. It was a dangerous world, as much as I would love it to be otherwise. For the time being, I tried to relax in the safety of Reyes' infernal hideout. I realized too late that I had stayed in Inferno past the date I agreed to rendezvous with Sir Brash. Well, I had other priorities. What'd you expect? I'm fucking a goat boy here. Come on now. Luckily for her, the young witch Ari made it alive, but there was no place for her in my life. I was sure she'd find her way, though, without Rivera there to command her. My nightmares became less frequent as the demon child lost the hope that I would ever aid him, but they did return at times, completely pointlessly, as if to punish me. Reyes was by my side when I woke up, with a fever. He didn't sleep, but he often watched over me. He would keep watching me in the outside world as well, but I didn't want to leave yet. I just wanted to stay here with you, Reyes. And that is the end. And for the most part, that's pretty much all the choices you get, are those 3 endings. First 2, not that much big of a difference unless you choose which Reyes you set free. This one's kind of different, but again, not by much. Alrighty, and thus, that is the end of Demonheart. A really nice game, but again, there's a shit ton of problems with it. First off, for the first 4 chapters, your choices don't mean diddly shit. The last chapter did have a few important choices, but not everything was important. It just had a few different dialogue. And that kind of bugs me about visual novels with choices, because unless something different actually does become of those choices, your choices are stupid. They're just extra dialogue or just a slight difference. A reply. But other than that, they're pretty pointless and they're kind of stupid. And I feel like a visual novel is kind of weak when people do that. So that kind of does bother me. Another issue I do have with this game. Now you notice the options of choosing good bright, bad bright, defiant, or tactful. They don't mean shit, other than just choosing to be a dick or choosing to be evil or good. Other than that, that system is pointless. Absolutely fucking pointless. There's no need for it. Now, what they could have done, in my personal opinion, is that if you're a good bright, maybe you have like slightly different endings depending what you choose. Like, if you choose to go with the imposter Reyes, if you're a good bright, you try to find a way to release the other Reyes, because maybe Dorius doesn't know how to release the real Reyes, so she convinces him to help her release him or something. But if you're a bad bright or evil bright, then you can convince him to maybe like try to take over Inferno or some shit. I don't know. I'm throwing suggestions out there. But like maybe have it alter the ending a little bit. Like being a good person or a bad person makes a difference. Like something like that would have been nice. Also, something I kept complaining throughout this LP, no full voice acting. That pisses me off immensely. I hate that. I don't know why they did that, and it's really, really stupid. So again, to any visual novels out there who want to make visual novelists who wants to make visual novels, either have full voice acting where they say all their lines, or no voice acting. Choose. Do not cut halfway through like this. It's really stupid. Another thing I kind of don't like, the animations. Like, obviously, like, when they stand still like this is actually pretty cool. This is actually pretty nice. But the animation and the drawings are so limited that some of them are kind of bullshit. Like when I pointed out he was holding Ari, his hands were to the side exactly like this. They weren't doing anything. And just a little effort just to hold, maybe just bend the arm a little bit or something like that. Just maybe a few extra art pieces here and there would have been nice. Just so it would have looked a little bit better. Again, it's not really that big of a deal, but I wish it was done a little bit better. Just a little bit. And last but not least, the ending. You can make everybody fall in love with you, and I think that's actually pretty stupid. That's actually, again, part of the choices don't matter. Again, it's really stupid that you can make everybody fall in love with you at the end. That's a pretty sloppy mechanic. Very sloppy and not really good design in the long run. At least I don't think so, viewer. I don't know about you. But it's not like you can get the harem. There's no harem ending as far as I can tell. I mean, I guess you could count as Sir Brash and Ari being lovers, but that's about it. But yeah, other than that, the story's actually really good. I do like the story. The characters were really well thought out and planned, and you could actually really see their personality and why they're doing what they're doing. And I kind of like that. That was actually pretty cool. And the whole universe of Demonheart, I actually like that too. Like, there's so much going on in here, and you kind of want more a little bit. Well, I am aware that there is actually a sequel, Demonheart Hunters, I believe it is called, that is coming out. But I'm not sure if I want to play it. Mostly because it is not a visual novel. It's actually an RPG. Now, I like RPGs as the next guy, but it really depends how the story's going to go, because from what I could tell, they have the good, bad, tactful, or brood thing back in, and unless something is done about that, that's going to be a pointless, stupid situation or mechanic. I'm hoping there's voice acting or no voice acting. That works just as well, because then I don't have to worry about trying to match their voices. So, but if they do the half voice acting bullshit again, I'm going to be pretty pissed off. I don't know if that would even matter. And again, would your choices matter? Like, I think it said they were going to do multiple endings as well, which would make sense. But unless your choices matter in early on or throughout the game, then it's kind of pointless to have multiple endings, I guess. But anyway, it would be interesting to take it, but I don't know if I'm going to be playing it or even LPing it. So, kind of don't ask in the future and saying, oh, the game's good, you should totally LP it. I'm not sure if I am or not, because I could play it, but I still would think, wow, this is a really stupid game. I'm not going to bother with it. So, whatever. We'll see in the future, viewer. We'll see. But I believe I have ranted on long enough. I gave my thoughts on this long enough. Good game. Had so much potential of being more than what it was, but it did fall short, though. But, it is what it is. But for the most part, I hoped you, viewer, enjoyed the ride. I tried to show as much as I could, where I could, and what hopefully made sense to you guys, so. Anyway, I am Terra the Fox. You are the viewer, and this has been Let's Play Demonheart. We are done. But luckily there are more LPs to come. Until then, though, I will see you.